Marriage is often seen as the ultimate commitment, two people pledging to stand by each other through life's challenges. However, within the complexities of marriage, there are often nuances that can lead to situations where married women become targets of manipulation or deceit. From the pressures of daily life to emotional vulnerabilities, many factors contribute to why married women are sometimes seen as easy prey. But it's important to explore this topic with care and nuance, understanding that these situations don't arise from intrinsic flaws in women or marriages themselves, but from a combination of societal expectations, individual desires, and emotional needs. In this video, we'll break down the factors that contribute to the vulnerabilities of married women, the psychological dynamics at play, and why certain individuals might view them as easy targets. Number 1. Emotional fulfillment, the core of vulnerability. At the heart of many challenges within relationships is emotional fulfillment, or the lack thereof. Emotional needs are critical for personal well-being, and when these needs aren't met within a marriage, individuals can become vulnerable. Married women, just like anyone, desire emotional connection and validation. If this need is unmet in their relationship, they may find themselves susceptible to attention from others. It's not unusual for a married woman who feels emotionally neglected or unappreciated at home to seek affirmation from someone outside the marriage. When someone offers the attention, affection, or validation that she feels is missing, she may unknowingly become vulnerable to manipulation. This could come in the form of emotional infidelity, where a connection with someone outside the marriage feels more genuine than the one at home. Number 2. The familiarity breeds comfort. And sometimes, complacency marriage often brings a sense of routine. Couples tend to settle into familiar patterns, and while this can be comforting, it can also breed complacency. In some marriages, the day-to-day grind of work, family responsibilities, and financial pressures leaves little room for intimacy, both emotional and physical. This lack of excitement can make one or both partners more susceptible to outside influences. When a woman is in a marriage where the spark has dimmed, it's easier for someone to slip in, offering something that feels fresh, exciting, or new. The allure of novelty can be irresistible, especially if the woman feels taken for granted or believes she deserves more excitement than her relationship currently offers. This can create an environment where her emotional defenses are lowered, making her more open to new connections, even if they aren't always in her best interest. Number 3. The power of charisma and manipulation. Some individuals, whether intentional or not, are skilled in the art of charm and manipulation. These individuals are often able to identify weaknesses in others, and many are particularly adept at recognizing when someone is emotionally vulnerable. For married women, someone who is charismatic, attentive, and sensitive to their emotional state can feel like a safe haven. In the worst-case scenario, this predator may prey upon her vulnerabilities for their own gain. In some cases, these individuals may use charm or empathy as a means to gain access to her trust, ultimately taking advantage of her emotional state. While some might argue that this is a reflection of the married woman's own vulnerability, it's also important to note that people who manipulate others often prey on weaknesses regardless of the circumstances. Number 4. The social conditioning of gender and emotional roles. Women, particularly in certain cultures, are often socialized to put others' needs before their own. This can result in married women carrying the emotional weight of the family, often suppressing their own desires, fears, or frustrations. In doing so, they may develop a sense of emotional dependence on others who seem to understand them better. Married women are often expected to be nurturers, caregivers, and the emotional backbone of their households. When these societal expectations are overwhelming, it can create a sense of emotional exhaustion or even burnout. This is where someone outside the marriage can easily slip in, offering empathy, a listening ear, and validation in ways the husband or partner might not. As a result, the married woman may begin to rely on these external sources of emotional validation, which can open the door for more manipulative actions. Number 5. Marriage is not immune to temptation. The reality is, temptation can strike anyone, whether they are married or not. The fact that someone is married does not automatically make them impervious to feelings of attraction or desire outside their relationship. In many cases, married women may find themselves in situations where they are tempted by someone who appears to be offering something their current relationship lacks, whether it's excitement, passion, or simply an escape from everyday struggles. Temptation can manifest in many ways, from flirtatious comments to more serious entanglements. The desire for something more can sometimes feel overwhelming, particularly if a woman feels unappreciated or disconnected from her partner. This can lead to situations where married women are lured into unhealthy or risky relationships, becoming prey to individuals who exploit their vulnerabilities. Number 6. The gendered power dynamics in social and work environments. It's important to recognize that married women are often subject to gendered power dynamics that may not be as apparent at first glance. Whether in the workplace or social circles, women frequently experience subtle or overt pressure from men or others who may take advantage of their position in the relationship. This power imbalance can often be manipulated by those who understand the social dynamics at play. For example, married women in professional settings may find themselves in situations where their authority or decision-making is questioned, but if they engage in flirtation or emotionally charged exchanges, they may receive validation they were missing. Unfortunately, these interactions may spiral into unhealthy situations where the woman's emotional needs are met at the cost of her marriage. Number 7. The role of trust and the destruction of boundaries. Trust is one of the pillars of any successful relationship, but trust can also be one of the easiest things to breach. When someone outside the marriage offers a woman the emotional support, attention, or connection that she feels she's lacking at home, the boundaries between what's appropriate and what's not can quickly become blurred. A married woman might not immediately recognize the implications of developing an emotional or physical bond with someone else. As her emotional investment grows in this new connection, she may become more vulnerable to manipulation. In some cases, this behavior may lead to infidelity, as the line between friendship, emotional connection, and betrayal fades. Number 8. The role of society and the perpetuation of stigma. Finally, it's important to address the societal stigma that can contribute to this dynamic. In many cultures, women are often blamed for infidelity or emotional transgressions in relationships. This cultural narrative places undue pressure on women to maintain an idealized version of marriage, while ignoring the very real emotional complexities that many women face. By labeling married women as easy prey, society perpetuates harmful stereotypes about women's emotional needs and their role in maintaining relationships. Instead of understanding that human emotions are complicated and multifaceted, society often reduces these situations to simplistic narratives of vulnerability and deceit. The idea that married women are easy prey reflects a deeper misunderstanding of the emotional and psychological complexities within marriages and relationships. While there are certainly dynamics that make some women more vulnerable to outside influences, it's essential to recognize that these challenges are not about inherent weaknesses in women, but rather about the social, emotional, and psychological pressures they face. Addressing the root causes of these vulnerabilities, whether it's a lack of emotional fulfillment, societal pressures, or emotional burnout, can help individuals in marriages protect their emotional health and preserve their relationships. It's vital for both partners to invest in open communication, mutual respect, and emotional support to reduce the risk of external manipulation. Ultimately, understanding the nuances of human behavior and emotional needs can create a safer, more fulfilling environment for both partners in a marriage where neither person feels like prey or predator.